Right, I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Fadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work and truth and sincerity. And when the Lord come down with that sword, man, it's gonna be game over, man. When the Lord come down with that sword, it's gonna be game over, man. And that sword represents many things. That sword represents famine. That sword represents drought, right? It represents great tribulation. That sword represents many things. And that sword is going to come down upon America. Right? You people really going to know what it means to suffer. Just like nations who went to war and their economy collapsed. They was in an uprising, a hyperinflation. America is going to experience the same thing, man. This is something that's going to eventually come, because why? The Lord is sharpening that sword, and he's sharpening that sword to make a sure slaughter. So before the Lord even comes down to onto this world by way of glory, not as a man, right, but by way of glory, there's many people that's going to get toe tagged, man. There's many people that's going to suffer right along with they themselves and their children, man, because the Lord, when the Lord start putting hell down on this place, that's gonna be it, man. You look what's going on in America. You might not be able to see it because you're not next to it, but what's happened is that a lot of people are still getting evicted. A lot of people are still getting kicked out, right? A lot of people still having to go to court, man, and pay court fees, and then still try to pay the homeowner the money that they owe them. People are still in a dire situation. You still got businesses shutting down, closing doors. When these businesses close down, hundreds of people loses their jobs. Now, all these people that have lost their job have to now find another job that's hiring. And a lot of jobs, you might have jobs out there hiring, but they're not hiring a lot of people, man. And the jobs that are hiring a lot of people, people don't want to work at. People don't want to work at a sewage company, right? Working on sewages. People don't want to, a lot of people don't want to be, suctioning out them, what they call them. I forget what they're called. People don't want to go to these homes and be suctioning out, all of that feces that's in those sewages behind their houses. People don't want to do those type of jobs. People don't want to do nasty jobs, and the nasty jobs are always hiring, man. People want to go for the comfort jobs. People want to go for the jobs where you're just sitting down, laying down all day, pretty much, right? Them lazy jobs that pay you more, but they lazy jobs. So guess what? Real soon, you're not going to have a damn job, man. Real soon, you're going to wake up and you really not going to have a job. You're really not going to know how to make a paycheck to pay your bills or to feed your children. So pretty soon, you're not going to have a job to get anything for your family, man. Because the scriptures, what is that in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter? Or is it the 12th chapter? I forget. But the scriptures tell you that the grinding shall cease. The grinding shall cease because they are few. What that means, because there are few. Not a lot of people going to be working, man. Not a lot of jobs are going to be hiring. A lot of jobs are going to be shutting down, closing doors. Right? And with that, people need to work. I remember watching that TV show that my demon was watching, and when the Irish, it shows the Irish in the U.S., and they was trying to work, like they wanted to work because they needed to feed their families. But they wanted to get paid, you know, like $2-3 for working that day. But the rich so-called white people wanted to get the Chinese to keep working. In Chinatown, they wanted to get the Chinese to keep working because the Chinese were they was doing more work and doing it effectively and efficiently, but they didn't mind getting paid practically nothing for it, 50 cents or $1. So Esau would choose the Chinese over having the Irish work because the Irish wanted more money. So they was very desperate, and they was very, very desperate and trying to get to work. So they would, you know, do things, you know, malice and evil things in order to try to get these jobs that was opening up. What if it was making like the steel and everything like that for the train tracks? Because they wanted to build they wanted to lengthen out the railroad, so you know they had jobs open for like manufacturing companies like that. So the desperation that people resort to, you know, when trying to feed their families, when trying to do things for their families, people begin to do anything, man. That's why the scriptures tell you that these people are not going to spare the sword, man. When great tribulation rises, these people are not going to spare the sword. These people are going to come up against their neighbors. They're going to come up against their friends. They're going to come up against family members. They're going to come up against many people that they so-called love. I'm telling you, hey, you people think you throw, and like we always say, you know, you people throw around this word love all the damn time. But when time comes and them animal instincts have to come back, we'll see how much you love. We'll see how much all that love you talk about is actually put into an effect. See, you can sit up here comfortable, right? You can sit up here, you know, wake up every morning, have a roof over your head, drink you a bottle of water, get some soda, right? Or, you know, get into your car and go to work, get your paycheck and pay your bills. What happens when that is no more? What happens when now you're in a survivability type of mindset? What happens when you now know that you have to survive, you have to live, you have to keep your kids alive, you have to keep your kids fed? All that love you talk about is going to go right out the damn window, man. Because when you sitting up there and your stomach is growling and you hungry because your stomach need the nutrients and proteins that it need, which the body really don't need meat. You don't need any of that type of food, right? All you need is nutrients. All you need is these things that the body is asking for, and they have that type of stuff in liquid containers, man, liquid bottles. You know, it's fun. It's Salakia. I'm gonna get off subject. It's funny how impatient these people are. You get in front of me only for me to get to the side. Like, people are fucking stupid. Salakia, man. But yeah, you know, you really start seeing people and how they truly are when they're put in a predicament to feed their families and shit like that, you know, to try to make a way. Shit, look at Jake, man. Jake will rob a motherfucker and kill a motherfucker over his woman, just trying to provide for his damn woman. Jake is ready to give Jake is ready to take your life away just to cater to his woman and make sure his woman is good. Just imagine when Jake have kids with this woman. Just imagine if Jake have kids with this woman and he have to resort to feeding his child. If this man will go shoot somebody at a convenience store for a couple dollars in the cash register, what do you think Jake gonna do to you when you live next door to him? Or what do you think Jake gonna do to you if you're his brother or his cousin? Jake will resort to the most evilest things in order to feed himself and his family, man. Just imagine these nations. They already messed up in the head. And a lot of these nations, a lot of these people of other nations, they don't know what it means to suffer. A lot of them, had it in their lives. They, lived a life to where they didn't have to worry about bills because they inherited, their companies, or they inherited a lot of money from their families. So they don't know what it means to actually suffer. When you suffering, you're used to it. A lot of people can tolerate suffering. But let me tell you something. Even people who have suffered cannot tolerate suffering. So even people who are suffering, who can't pay their rent, who can't pay the water, who can't pay their light, who can't pay their car note, who can't pay their phone bill, suffering, going to jobs that they hate, even they, man, can endure or be tolerable. When you going through these things, you have to look at these things as a way to show that you can be tolerable, you can endure, you can go through suffering, because this suffering that we're going through today is nothing compared to what's coming. Just imagine when you wake up, or even if that, man, if you trying to go to sleep, you want to go to sleep, but if you go to sleep, there's a potential break-in if you live in an apartment or in a house. And I'm talking about more frequently, because right now, not everybody is trying to break into everybody else's house. You only have a few out there that's doing such things. But what happens when almost everybody's doing it? It's going to be hard for you to sleep. It's going to be like Jake in slavery, man. Jake is in a hut, just scared, not knowing whether or not he's about to die tomorrow, because these devils had the power to kill Jake whenever the hell they wanted to, whenever the hell they felt like it. If they were bored and they just wanted to do something, they could just go in there, grab Jake up, fry cook his ass, and cut him into pieces. There was nothing he could do about it. And that's if they were just bored, man. Yeah, I'm going to end it from there. I said Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Badash, double honors the apostle and elders of GMS. Citations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.